All right, we are gonna call this meeting to order. Let's do the roll call. Jeremy,
Present.
Mark,
Yes, here.
Kim here, Lori,
Here.
Darla,
Here.
Laura Lee.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Did everyone get a chance to look through the meetings from last? I'm going a little bit backwards, but did anyone, minutes? Everyone get a chance to look at the meetings from minutes? Any questions? Thoughts, concerns, changes? Okay, we have a motion, a second.
My second.
Thanks, Mark.
Sorry, missed my cue.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, Jeremy, discount your vote. All right, so adjustments to the agenda. Laura Lee, you have an adjustment to the agenda?
Yeah, Jason is not gonna be able to make it tonight. He emailed me and said he had a family emergency, so.
Okay,
Schedule some point.
okay. I should go very quickly then. And then you have a new business, so you have a proposal, a streamline proposal?
Yeah, I have, two now. So I had, sent the board the proposal from Streamline. And they have, three different categories of website offering. And they rebuild the website, plus, they help make sure that you're ADA compliant and all of that good stuff. And anyways, one tier was $245 a month, one tier was over $700 a month. And I mean, it is expensive. But it would definitely put our website, into a different level. And well, I'm on this email thread with other special districts. And about a month or so ago, there was some people that had posted to this email thread about how Streamline has raised their prices quite a bit in the last 18 months or so. And they are approved, or I don't know if contracted is the right word, but they're partnered with SDAO, and different districts were like, man, these guys keep raising their rates and they're real expensive. And in a lot of these districts, we operate again on a fiscal year, and so it's really hard for things to change mid fiscal year because again, we didn't budget for it, right? And so anyways, well, so then, there was just a lot of back and forth with different people chiming in. Well, just the other day, Rose and I sat through a webinar with Streamline and, got all their information and everything. Well, then that morning, I got an email from another special district that said that they had found a website builder out of Portland. Well, they're global, international really, but one of their main offices is in Happy Valley. And this local guy reached out, and their kind of niche market is public utility districts, but they do other special districts, but they started out doing PUDs. And so I shot him an email and I was just like, hey, do you do other special districts, or are you guys mostly focused on, public utilities? And he emailed me right back and he was like, no, we do other districts too. And so then Rose and I had to set up a Zoom call with him, and they can basically do everything that Streamline did for a lot less money. And so, yeah, I printed off the contract here, but basically he said that they would match or beat Streamline. And so Streamline was offering a $500 startup, and then it was 3 months free, and then it was, gonna be the $350 a month. Well, with Powerful Web Design, that's this company, they would do the same $500 deposit and then rebuild our website. They'd give us the 3 months free, and then it's only $150 a month.
Wow.
So, yeah, and he said they've never raised their rates. And they've been in business for, many years. And he said, and they've never had a customer yet that's left. And he said, now I'm sure we'll have one down the road at some point, but we don't. And he said they were voted, Oregonian voted them like top 5 employers in the state of Oregon. So,
Wow.
yeah, for like employees that are, employers that have 100 employees or less. So that kind of market, so. Anyways, so yeah, we had a really good conversation, and this to me is a lot more doable. 150 a month is a lot more doable, and we pay the $20 a month hosting fee. Well, that's part of that 150. So then if you think about it, it's really $130 a month instead of 150, because we're already paying the 20.
What's the name of them?
Powerful. Yeah, Powerful Web Design. And here's the contract.
And the subscription service, don't forget that.
Yeah, it is a subscription service, so.
They have when people go to the website, they can sign up for specific subscriptions, like full news, full closures. So if we have to do something, we can post something, anybody who subscribe to that will automatically get a notification from us. It's like a pop-up, like,
Yeah, what we
that
were
was one of the
after.
things you were
Yeah,
definitely looking for.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
And then
Nice.
we
Can it do
also,
the- I'm
sorry.
Can they match the marketing, the?
well, I mean,
survey?
that's part of it, you know what I mean? It wasn't
Sounds
so
like
much
it, right?
surveying as it was having that ability to send out emails
Blast
and,
emails.
and then have people sign up, and you could subscribe or unsubscribe or,
Mhm.
so.
It's
And then-
nice to have another option.
And then the other part too is that, at some point down the road, I can see us wanting to implement, payments online where you
Mhm.
could, donate to the pool, or you could, buy a membership or whatever, sign up for lessons maybe. I think, and when we're ready to do that, I mean, they'll help us.
Right. So I think one of the questions I have is, does the mechanics behind how that would work, because like Streamline also says they will connect to our accounting software, so we don't run our own copy of QuickBooks, right?
Yeah, but
Tina
once,
does, or-
yeah, but once that,
Mhm.
I mean, that's not right now. That's
Right.
when we set up down the road to
No, and I
do.
understand that, I just would
Yeah.
like to know more about. the
Yeah,
supplies, how
with
they
this
do it.
guy, there's a couple, they don't do it in-house. They have a couple different companies that they
Oh.
have us.
And
work
does
with.
he have a presentation that, like a webinar we can watch? Or?
I mean, no, he just sent
He
me
just
the,
did a, okay,
yeah.
great, no, I'll be interested to look through that, nice.
Future project, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Future projects like that, are they included in the 150 a month, or are they additional project-based fees at the time?
There was a cost, so there's 2 different options for payments online. The first one is you can, and would be a cost benefit analysis thing that we would have to do. The first one was through PayPal, which charges a back end cost, so they charge a higher percentage rate. The second option was through current merchant services so how we already have a credit card machine.
Right.
That has an upfront cost. And so basically you'd have to look at how many potential sales are we gonna be doing online? Is it gonna cover this $2,000 upfront cost, or should we go through PayPal? And that's gonna be a really big question as to whether or not we're gonna have.
Or some combo, right, maybe we start
Yeah.
with PayPal. and-
Yeah, or something
Grow
like that, but
into
those
it.
were basically the 2 options, which is what you're gonna see with any website thing, is you've got your PayPal, Stripe, those kinds of things, which are third party. merchant services for small businesses that don't have the big startup costs. And then, you can pay a merchant service hookup and connection fee and all of that.
Mhm.
It does have a smaller cost in the back on per purchase as you go down the line. But again, if you're not doing, $2,000
Yeah,
is a
gotta be
lot.
ready for that.
If your
yeah,
fees are gonna be, if your fees are gonna total $300 in a year, $2,000 makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
no, I would agree with that, that's kind of what you grow into, right? over
yes,
time.
yeah.
But he's using all the right words and the right service.
But the
But
streamline.
I'm sorry, I don't think we answered Jeremy's question though, so fee-based, when you're ready to develop, sorry.
Oh, no, the fee was for, if you use the merchant services, that's the fee, the upfront fee. But if you want to integrate PayPal,
You feel like that was part of the
yeah,
initial
that was
package?
part,
Okay,
I could integrate PayPal
right,
as
right.
is right now.
Right,
It's
and we-
really not that hard.
We've
to
talked
do,
about
so-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
adding it to our website.
Yeah, so that's something they do, he said they offer, it's an extra monthly fee if you're like, I don't know what to do, just do it for me and I'll send you the stuff.
Yeah.
Versus, no, we're talking the other
Oh,
ones.
sorry.
Versus the other option, which is like, hey, I'm struggling with this, can you walk me through this right now?
Right.
And so that is included in the 150, so if we're like, hey, we're ready to add PayPal,
No.
can you walk us through the setup?
Right.
And then he can walk you through the setup, so it's not, that's
Okay.
included in the 150.
Okay, so there's a certain amount of tech support.
I
A
thought it
lot of
was
tech support.
Good.
incredibly comparable to Streamline.
Yeah. Streamline's
If it had
pretty.
been my decision, I would have been, I was up now.
Yeah.
So
What's nice to get somebody a little hungry.
the $500, and that is a conversion of our existing website to the new platform.
Well, I mean, and it's totally rebuilding it. I mean,
Because for instance, if you've been in the website, like on the homepage, you have pictures and then you have words over the pictures. That's not ADA compliant. So the DOJ is gonna be like, no, you can't have that. So it's not just, they can take what we already have, they're existing. Look, knowing what I know about websites, they probably just put it through a process. And then they have to go in and remediate a couple of things, but they also have to attach their back end to it, which is similar to a WordPress kind of operating system. They have their own operating system on the back end. And then they have setups for, board meetings and uploading minutes and all of that and helping to convert the PDFs, which is something that we have to really keep an eye on because that has to be done.
We have a lot of PDF, sorry.
Any resolution, past
Word
resolution
PDF.
is gonna be a PDF. And
So we
those-
want to get ahead of it before we build too much of a library.
Yeah, so we don't wanna put anything on the website that we're then gonna have to run
Turn
around
around and-
remediation
yeah.
process.
yeah.
And I noticed in this package for $350 a month, that what I was just looking up, because I saw it in that presentation you were looking at, Mark. They do PDF
Mediation.
remediation, but it costs $7 a page of your PDF in addition to your $350 a month. So it's not included
Yeah.
in that cost, but they act like in
Yes,
this
they have-
presentation that it is part of what you get.
Yeah, he said that they have a drag and drop PDF remediation thing, but if you want somebody to actively go through it.
The other guy, the powerful web
The
design guy.
The Streamline guys,
Streamline.
you have to go through it. Now, the powerful web design guy, he was great, cause he was like, yeah, you can upload like a Word doc PDF of resolution. So I'm like, how are we gonna get the signatures up there? And just put at the bottom, signatures on file, as opposed to trying to, photocopy, scan something and put that up, cause that is not legible at all. As, but yeah, he gave us but he went through the website, and
Yeah.
gave like 10 tips that were I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
great. That alone was worth the time just talking to him, because he was like, well, this doesn't work, and here's how this doesn't work, and here's why this doesn't work, which was far more supportive than Streamline.
Well, and I mean, Streamline very much is,
Yeah.
they're half salesman, half, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But this gentleman, like, he went to some special district websites. I'm not gonna name them, but he was like, here, let's look at this website. And then he was showing us like, well, this is not really compliant because, you know, XYZ or whatever, just like little things that we didn't even know about. Like, for instance, if, like our phone numbers, right? Like sometimes you put it down as, you know, 541-905-6983. That's my phone, by the way. But, okay, now, a screen reader is gonna say 541 minus 905 minus. Now, technically, that's right, but that's, you know, it's not a math problem we're reading, it's a phone number. But a screen reader, if you have it the 541 bracketed, and then the 905-6983, then it like knows and it will read it like a phone's number is supposed to be read. Well, there's special district websites out there that have some of this like wrong way to put stuff down there. Like he was showing us that and it was just like, wow. Yeah,
Sounds promising.
yeah. So anyways, we learned a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
Just, you know, visiting
Well, that's a
with this
good
guy.
sign too, when you can work with people easily.
Yeah. And he's right up the road.
Is there a chance he could give us a presentation, whether he came and did it in person or we did a extra Zoom meeting where we could all go on and watch him do the presentation so we could understand?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's essentially like Streamline, just without the pricey price tag.
Mhm. In the shiny bright.
So can I try and summarize this? You guys can tell me if my understanding is correct in my summary. So for $500, they will take our existing website, they'll convert it onto their platforms. And then for $150 a month, they offer support where we do everything on our own website, and if we kind of get stuck, they help us along. And if there's any like new projects like marketing or payment systems or financial integrations, that's a bigger project. And if it's a little bit too big for us, they can bid us a specific package for that particular project.
Yes, and the big piece of the summary is that regardless of how we go, we need to have something that is ADA compliant based on the DOJ rules. Otherwise, we could be facing both fines from the DOJ and a potential lawsuit from a member of the public. So
We've got till the middle of 2027 to fix that, right?
I think
Well-
February 2026 or March.
I looked it up, it's April 27.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that is that's just when the DOJ came out with their final deadline. That doesn't stop somebody from the public right now suing us because our site's not ADA compliant. So,
And according to Streamline, 90% of lost ADA lack of compliance lawsuits, ADA compliant lawsuits are driven by 10 people. And they basically just go and look and say, hey, you're not following the rules.
Yeah, I read that. too.
Right, which is, you know, I mean, okay, fair, it's fair enough.
It's
And
become a hobby business.
ignorance of the law does not, it doesn't matter. So the sooner we get it done, the better, and also the more room we have for, you know, errors and correcting things, and we could potentially up our clientele to the pool, because maybe we have people that don't come to the pool because they can't read our website.
True.
yeah.
Okay.
Good information.
But I can reach out to, his name's Charlie. I can reach out to him and see if he'd wanna
Yeah, I
You
think it'd be
know,
nice.
do a,
And we can accommodate his schedule to some extent. I think we could do it even during the day if it's better.
and you know, to my knowledge, they don't have a park and rec special district.
So it'd be a good model. for-
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so then maybe, you know, maybe if we were there first,
Right.
and then, you know, maybe they'd get more, and then maybe we could, you know, maybe they could see where they could tweak.
Mhm.
You
They could
know,
learn how
what
to-
they do, yeah,
Yeah.
to make it better, so just because maybe, you know. I just feel pretty good that down the road, like, if
Yeah.
there's some big change that we wanna make, or
Mhm.
that. it
It's
could
always
still
nice to be
happen.
first with, especially when a company's trying to break in, so. Nice.
And it's nice that he was so generous with his time and expertise that feels
Yeah.
like, yay.
Mhm.
And it wasn't like the sales pitch so much, it was more just like, hey, we're just trying to help people out and, you know, so.
So bottom line was $150 a month, including hosting,
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, it would be $130 a month.
130. You take a word.
I do have one comment to make on it. It sounds pretty good, but as we go back and this month, look at this. We're leaving WordPress, going to proprietary, which means we'll no longer on our website. We will be basically bound to them. As long as, until, there will be no way to get our code and stuff off of it. Now, for
I guess
us,
that's a very good question.
I don't think that's a big deal. I think it fits for us okay, but that is, we're leaving a platform where you can copy and paste our database, everything, anywhere we want. And we're going to something proprietary where it has to be on their servers.
Did they mention their platform?
If you didn't know, they was a creative platform, but if you didn't know better what you were looking at, you would think you were looking at a WordPress platform.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure it's very, very good.
Exactly. It looked exactly the same on the back end.
Yeah,
There were a
most are
couple
based on that.
minor tweaks that I saw that I'm like, oh, that looks a little different, so I could tell it wasn't WordPress based on that, but Yeah.
But WordPress friendly seems.
it seemed a little more WordPress friendly. There were options, there were better options for, I liked their events calendar integration was nice. I liked their, like with board meetings, you know, you would add, like, oh, we have a board meeting on December 16th, and it would pop it up. And then it had these little options. Are there minutes for this? Are there prior minutes for this? Where's the video? Where's the
Yeah,
stream?
so nice
Where's
template
the
thing.
streaming link? So it actually is a really nice
Mhm.
cohesive, back end that does make it.
Users are
It
gonna
makes
love it.
It makes it monkey friendly.
Yeah, which
Users are
we
gonna.
want that.
Yeah, but Jeremy makes a
Yeah.
good point. We want to be able to get our content back out. So that's a definitely good question for him.
Oh, we
And
may-
it may be in the
We may
contract,
be able to.
we said you have a contract, so it might be in that verbiage also.
Mhm.
We
Or
just
we can
haven't seen it.
negotiate it in because very few suppliers these days are gonna deny access to at least the raw data.
Well, and I would guess that eventually 90% of our data is in PDFs and things, and we
Yeah.
have copies of that locally.
Yeah, there's not gonna be all that much. And-
But it will not be as simple as if, oh, we're paying $50 a month for hosting, and this site's 20, copy paste over and move to 20.
Well, that's a good report. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Good.
All right,
So without our big presentation.
I know, it's like we're done. I don't even know what to, I don't even know.
So
what to
Merry
say, right?
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
No, that was really good. Well,
I have
got
a
something
few
else?
more comments. I mean, I had 3 staff that went down to that. The holidays in the park. I was like, what was that? And they passed out like 350
which
of
is
these.
fabulous.
Yeah, so
Yay.
anyways,
Have
And
you
rain.
gotten in the rain,
In the
in
rain.
the cold, in the fog? That was crazy. Did you get any feedback yet? People, I mean, we're not pre-selling.
I
I-
haven't seen it, I haven't seen any coupons yet. We talked about at the in-service what to do with the coupons when they came in. We were really stressing the like upcoming kind of events, but there were a lot of feedback about people wanting to come to the Elf on the Shelf
Good.
Rexton, so.
yeah, just anecdotally, I mean, I've seen a
Fun.
lot of people, like when I post stuff online. People are like, hey, let's take the kids, and they're tagging like
Good.
all these people in it, so I hope we have a good turnout.
I hope so. I know you guys, from a marketing point of view, are you reposting or resharing?
I mean, yeah, like every day
I don't
I'm
know,
like
look, I don't know who's
putting
doing
it, yeah,
But yeah,
putting
good.
it out
That's
there
good.
and.
Brings it back to the top of the page.
Yeah, yeah, and then, oh, the inflatables, they're supposed to arrive. I think there's still one on back order, but they should start coming after the first of the year,
No,
Well,
so,
goody.
yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
Flip.
And then we'll know, as Rose pointed out from the Elf on the Shelf, we'll have a better feel for, did the flyers help? You know, what are the ways we can reach people? That's
Yeah.
good.
I
And
did,
Are you doing you're doing the buzz, are you doing the
yeah,
Lebanon events and all the
Yeah.
long stages?
yeah, trying.
And
I did put, I sent an email to that dentist there on like Oak.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Blotter.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, and so I don't know, I haven't driven over there, but I sent them all the information, so
Oh,
they,
nice.
they thought they might put it up, I don't know.
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be great.
And Rose was, Laura Jalop's group was supposed to get back. I don't know if they did.
I emailed them, but I got a thing in the mail from the chamber
Yeah,
that
I
it
wondered-
costs money. to
Yeah, I
do
wondered
that.
if our timing was just a little off, because the person on the phone said the marketing team would be happy to do this for us, but then they never called back.
Yeah.
Or emailed, so
Yeah, well, I got a thing in the mail today and for
Yeah.
350
they're
a
starting.
month.
Yeah, I figured our timing was off, yeah,
So,
yeah, I think it's a pretty big lift. I mean, it's 3 boards or 2 boards, it's the chamber board and the one on Oak, which is
yeah,
gonna get a lot of views, but.
yeah, the one on Oak though, like, I mean, if you're driving by it, like,
Yeah.
45, 50, whatever, you don't really
No,
see
it's
it.
great if you got like 5 words, but it's not gonna be very good for us, I don't think. Any word from Pete? Since we're kind of,
No.
is it okay to go around a little bit, the table, sorry. Did you reach out or?
I haven't yet,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah, we had potentially some interest in Pete putting a video board in front or somewhere, we'll have to figure out where.
That'd be
So,
super.
that'd be great,
Yeah.
we'll see,
Yeah.
see if it comes to anything.
That would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, we were
Yeah.
sitting with some people at the chamber thing, which thank you again, that was fun. And then also Energy Star, he was gonna check.
oh,
and see-
Energy Trust.
Energy Trust, gonna check and see if they could sponsor anything for us.
Yeah, I haven't heard back from him yet, so.
Yeah,
Be dark.
it was fun, had a good time.
Yeah.
There were some people in there, I was thinking we probably should be. You're in the chamber world anyway, but some of
Yeah.
those people could probably be helping us get some
Well,
attendees.
I mean, and I'd mentioned that in the past, I mean, it's been a year or two ago, but. If we sponsor one of their
Mhm.
chamber lunches, I mean, it costs, I don't know, it's not that much, a couple $100 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we get advertising, we get to, talk about whatever we've got going on before the program or like before introduce
Good
the
idea.
speaker.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking of it yesterday and just looking on there and I think it's $3.50. You can host that lunch
yeah,
and,
cause I know we did it,
That's
we
really-
did it a year or two ago, probably more like 2 or 3 years ago. But,
and I think it would, generate a lot
yeah,
of good stuff in return.
I think it couldn't hurt,
Really.
right? And if we get the right connections within that group, some of those people are very active.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
do things like get the realtors to hand, now I'm drifting into your world, but. Realtors handing out welcome cards when they're selling houses. Laura was all about that a couple years ago. And that Shelley used to do that when she had the chamber, but I don't know if they faded away from that.
I know they still have like a goodie bag that they'll
Oh,
give
okay.
to people and they put our flyers and stuff in there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they asked us for stuff recently.
So did we give like a free family swim or a free something?
Well, mainly it's just been like information,
Okay,
which
it's
like,
good too, right?
So.
It's just nice to get a hook out where somebody comes in to check it out. Inflatable, right?
Are we
Yeah.
on the chamber website,
We're a member.
right?
Oh,
I've been on
yes.
there, but I assume you got a link, little blurb around us and stuff like that?
I don't know, I mean, I get their newsletters and
They-
stuff, but.
When we had our fundraiser event in May, they advertised. For that, yeah, they sent out, on there, they do a weekly email blurb.
Yeah, and then they do a
and so
monthly
they'll-
newsletter.
They'll put that on the weekly one.
Yeah, I was just thinking in terms of when I need to find stuff in Lebanon, I don't go to the pool website, I go to primarily Lebanon's website. And from there, I would assume I get pointed to the chamber, I need to go back and look at those places, cause we should be on both of those. I would
Yeah,
think.
we should, yeah, that's a good point, and that's part of the whole marketing push I'd like
I
to
need
see
to double
us
check
do
those,
in
make sure we're on.
2025. I
I
think
mean,
we just,
anybody who's gonna
wake
look
it
for us,
up.
are not gonna go, if they're gonna look for something to do in Lebanon. You're not gonna first think of a pool unless you're looking for a pool.
well, and that's what the chamber is meant to do, right? Especially us as a government entity, we get a reduced rate, right? We get the non.
They charge us the nonprofit rate.
And I think that's a very strong message, is we wanna make sure that we
I'm
get
sure we're
noticed.
on there, but I've been on there with the passports, but sometimes the mentions they have are kind of hokey. Like, it'd be nice if you get a picture, a logo,
Mhm.
well, oftentimes they're just like a phone number, a little one line or something.
Yeah, I think, as we put some focus on marketing, I think it all just kind of clicks into place, but it's a really good reminder. Cause this stuff does get tired, right? They've gone through a few rebuilds of their own. I don't know what they're.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, yeah. That's very true, they're building. But that'd be good things, you know, as you're checking stuff out and looking for places to post, I know Rose has the heart for it too, so. Maybe just think about the chamber and the Optimists and all, you do Rotary too, or is that?
I haven't been in a while,
Yeah,
but yeah,
got the contacts from it at least.
yeah.
And I think realtors are just kind of the natural fit for, hey, guess what's going on in town? We'll see. That's great. I was just thinking, I was watching the train because there I was stuck at the train going by this weekend with the Christmas stuff. I was thinking it's fun. It's fun, but they had signs up. It's like, I'm not sure we're taking advantage of everything, you know? Like a swim and a train or there's gotta be some connection there, right?
Yeah.
That we could do for some upcoming event. But I don't think they put signs on the side. They used to have like a banner sign. I mean, it goes past you like 800 times a day blowing its horn. It's like.
Yeah.
Did any of you go to the Twilight Parade?
Is that what you were at with the flyers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't stay for the nighttime thing, but, Spencer and I rode the Special Olympics float. What a fun time. And
How
the
fun.
train went, well, we were just, what do you call it? Getting in line, getting ready to go. The train went by and it was actually very joyful because, and all decorated in Christmas lights, and they did have a banner.
Oh, nice.
Or a sign, a long
Mhm.
sign about, Merry Christmas or something. It was exciting.
They've done a good job with it.
Yeah,
And they say people are coming to town just for it. So it's just, I'm just looking at the things we can hook together, right?
Mhm.
So you make a good point. When somebody moves to town, what are they looking for? You know, I think youth sports is another thing we should push hard next year. And I don't know who to look at again, but Mark made a good point about with swim club and swim team and, we just start younger, right? So when I see all this youth sports stuff out there, I never see the full mention. It's always football, soccer, baseball sometimes.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
maybe we just push that message a little bit more. Cause you always make a very good point. This is youth sport.
Well, and I mean, I'll
It's year round.
add it when I see it on Facebook, when somebody's like, hey, I've got a 5-year-old
Yeah, I've
that's
seen you
driving
do
me
that,
crazy,
yeah.
what do I do? I'm always like, swim team, swim lessons,
Yeah.
rec swim,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. I
Yeah,
mean,
and the sharper everything gets and the better the website is, we just send a link out and help people start coming more. Good thing, a lot of new people coming to town. We're gonna be, what, 23,000 this year? We moved here, we were not even
Is that it?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're saying 30,000 in the next 5 years, which is kind of
I
scary
believe it.
I
for
believe it.
traffic. Yeah, I
Mhm.
do too.
Yeah, at that forum lunch that we went to, Mayor Ken spoke and then the city manager, Ron Whitlatch spoke, and they both talked about, there's developers that already have signed on the dotted line to put in 175 homes out there by Crowfoot.
6 new
So,
subdivisions
yeah.
and
100
homes, which is nice.
And that's just there, but that's not all the other subdivisions that they mentioned
Yeah.
and stuff.
And it's not the county either, which is starting to help.
Yeah, so, yeah, I believe it.
Is that within our district?
Everything's within our district. If you have a 97355 area code, you're in our district.
If the city manager's talking about it, then it's within. Yeah. Yeah, because the school district follows the zip code.
Yeah, which is big,
Yeah, it is big. I mean, all the way out
right?
and around and back around this way. It's a big space.
So the only thing I was wondering is, did we find, or have you had a chance to look to see if there's any money for a scholarship? For one of your seniors?
I think I'd like to, if you don't mind, answer. I think we'd like to take that on in January and really look at it. And we had a quick little chat about it. I'm not sure where I land on it.
We've done it in the past.
Well, and Laura
Well,
had some concerns that
this-
she can speak to.
The scholarship that we did in the past was for staff,
Yeah, staff, that's what
Yeah.
I mean.
but
It would
what,
be nice if we could do a second scholarship for high school swim club, swim team, but staff, that's the focus, yeah.
yeah.
You-
Cause I mean, that, the staff that were graduating, it was for a graduating
Yeah.
senior that,
So
you know.
that's what I was wanting, is, yeah,
Yeah.
for one of your staff, that's a senior that plans to go to college, that is. That would
How
help them
many
out.
seniors are on staff right now?
Yeah, that was kind of our thing, was there's only
Um,
one, right? So hard not to win.
Well, I mean, no, there's,
Third one.
what? 4 maybe,
Oh, that's not too bad.
at least 4.
I know your concern was what happens when the high school wrestler comes over and says, hey, I'm a senior, right? So we need to be pretty
Yeah,
specific.
yeah,
that it's Swimmers that
yeah,
work here.
that was
That's
kind
gotta
of,
be on staff, yeah.
well, but my point was the staff scholarship, it didn't matter if they swam or not. The swimming part, I mean, other than them being a staff member here, that was the only requirement. It was a graduating senior that was a current staff member. So,
And it'd be unlikely they wouldn't swim because,
well, but I mean, I have plenty of staff that didn't swim high school and don't swim high school. So
oh,
the swimming,
team, I'm sorry. I thought you
yeah,
meant
the
it all. I'm
swimming,
going, "How
the
does life
swimming
person-"
team.
So no, I just misunderstood.
Well, the swimming team part had no bearing on them qualifying
I got it.
for this scholarship, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So,
Okay, so that's something, that's just throwing that out there, if that's something we could look at, that would be fun.
yeah.
How much was that scholarship from past month?
What was it? Well,
1,000.
1,000, and then the two applied that one year, and they were both equally awesome, so we gave them each 1,000.
Yeah, and I'm not saying for or against, I just would like to give it enough time, well, tonight we ended up having a lot of time, but. Because could we do donations, could we do a sponsor,
So-
what could we do to not, I'm sorry,
No, you're
to
fine.
not impact the. Retrofit rebuild fund,
Okay, good idea.
We had put it on the budget, but then as we were talking, because we thought Jason was coming to do the presentation and then Laura Lee had a presentation, we decided we would put it on the January
Okay.
meeting.
give it
So
more
we
time.
do have it
Talk
on the
about it in
radar.
January.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, and let's all think about like, who would we wanna approach about sponsoring? Cause I've got a few thoughts. on
Yeah,
it.
if we could get donations to cover the 1,000, that would be even better.
Yeah. Be nice. But as Laura Lee said, it's a big undertaking, right, when you've also got all this other stuff.
well, I mean,
No, for her sake, she had the hesitation more than the board does. I think the board's all for it, but you were.
well, yeah, I just didn't wanna set a precedent to give money out of LAD's budget for a swimmer. As much as I love swimming, and I do, but, you know, to me, it was
So,
two separate things.
Swimmer or non-swimmer, just one of your staff,
Yeah,
that's a senior and plans to go to college.
Okay. Good. So we'll talk about it.
Okay, that's all I wanted to bring up, so thank you.
And what was your point, that the board should be doing the
Oh,
fundraising?
no, I just thought like, I thought you were saying like, oh, that's a lot for Laura Lee to take
Oh,
on.
no, that's
In
not what
terms
I
of
meant.
work and in addition to what she's already doing, and then I was like, well, there's fine.
No, I just didn't understand what you meant.
Yeah.
That's not what. I
No, it was just a miscommunication on both ends, so. I'm good.
Well, and it could be something that the fundraising committee looks at, right? So when we talk about it next month, we can include that as maybe.
Figure
an
out where it
option.
could land.
Yeah.
Nice. Lots of good information.
So are we done?
I think so.
Motion? I make a motion to close.
Next second.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Nope. All
Okay,
right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.